What's up, guys? Today we're going to check out a line out converter from NVX. This is a NVX XLCA2X, and they're anywhere from 70 to 100 bucks, and they're on kind of the higher end low level converters. So I decided to check it out. It's a pretty cool looking unit. It's aluminum, looks almost like a mini amplifier, and it has low level inputs, high levels, one pair of RC outs, and then your power inputs. So this does require power. It's got ground isolation. In most newer cars you don't have this problem, but if you have alternator noise or anything like that, it gives you a couple positions you can use to get rid of that. And it has turn on mode, where it can turn on when it senses audio from either the high or the RCA inputs, or it can turn on from the remote input from like your head unit or your ignition. So it gives you some options. It also has a bass restore. It's not a bass boost, but what it does is it's like one of those I don't know what you call them, bass processors, to where it restores bass. So like if your head unit, you know, turns the bass down as the volume goes up to protect its little speakers, that's what this is for. So you have the amount and then the level, and then you have an LED light when that is in use. Power LED, and what's nice about this, it is a clip LED. So you can set your output gains without having a meter or anything, so that way going to your amp, you know nothing's clipping. So that's a cool feature. And it gives you a remote knob. So if you have a Tare amps or something that doesn't come with a level knob, this has it. So, and it comes with the cable, some screws, and a little screwdriver to fit the little Molex connectors on the ends. So it's pretty cool. So let's test it and see if it puts out a clean signal, because a lot of the cheap low-level converters, and I'll do another video on that, so hit that subscribe button and I'll show you an example of that here soon. A lot of the cheaper low-level converters will have distortion in them no matter what you do. So let's see if this thing stacks up to be a good quality low-level converter, which I'm sure it will be. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to just verify it first before we start to make sure the head unit signal's clean. So this will tell us if we're getting any distortion, and it'll tell us our preamp voltage coming from the head unit. We just want to make sure it's clean before we test the NVX. So we got up to about 6.5 volts. That light at the end was just a sine wave clicking off. So clean all the way up to 6.5 volts. Now let's hook up the NVX and see what kind of signal we get. Okay, so now we got the NVX hooked up. We know we got a clean signal because we tested that already. So let's see if we can keep a clean signal out of this. And this level, I read the instructions. It says how to adjust it is turn on your stereo, you know, crank it to where you would be listening to it, and as soon as you hear the volume increasing but the bass no longer increasing, that means your head unit, especially if it's a factory unit, might have one of those bass limiters to protect the factory, you know, cheap speakers at high volume. So you're supposed to turn it up until you hear that the volume's increasing but your bass isn't, and then slowly adjust the level until the light comes on, and then so that's the levels. When you stop hearing the bass increase, and then how much bass you want restored is the bass X edge side. So set your head unit to where your factory unit to where you're not getting any more bass increase, and then set this until the light comes on at that point, and then adjust how much bass you want restored by the bass X edge knob. Alright, so let's see if we get a clean signal out of this thing. I'm sure we will. NVX is pretty good. So I think with the factory we got 6.5. Okay, so far so good. Let's turn it up, see what we get. So now I have the level, output level all the way up. So we got 9.5. We got an extra 3 volts. And if you notice the distortion light, it clicked on and clicked off. It's auto sensing. So what it was doing is it was calibrating, so that wasn't clipping and or distortion. And the one at the end was the sine wave stopping. So clean signal, 9.5 volts. So it did boost it 3 volts. Now you don't have to run 9.5, but some guys like to. Some amps, you know, might like 4 volts, and some, you know, might like 7. You know, I haven't heard a crazy amount of difference. I've messed with that a lot, but the option's there if you want to dumb down the preamp output voltage or increase it. This can do it, and it puts out a perfectly clean signal. So that's awesome. We never even got it to clip, never even got distortion. So this is an awesome line out converter, plus the fact that it comes with the bass knob. So again, if you have a Stetson or a Tear amps and you need a line out converter, this would be kind of a, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get your bass knob and you get your line out converter, and you get to know if you're giving your amp a clip signal because it has a clip indicator. So awesome little line out converter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for watching. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to purchase it. An Amazon link. I do get a small, like 1 or 2% if you guys use the links, so if you do, I'd appreciate it. And until next time, thank you guys.